Oh, good.
Hey, Stacy, how are you?
Hey, everybody.
Donna? Oh, hey, Michael.
Yep. Hi, Angela.
Hey, and then Maurice. Okay. All right. Well, we have a small group today, but we're hoping other people will join us. I ran into a lot of people at the Willistown Conservation Trust this week who said, "Oh, yeah, I saw that thing." So I'm hoping that they will join us.
A quick hi, I'm here. I'm just listening in, guys.
Okay. Okay, so shall we start? Let's just do a quick round robin and everybody introduce themselves real quick. Let's start with you, Stacy.
Sure, Stacy Ballard, and I am with Easttown Township 250 and EDA Enterprises.
Michael?
Michael Whelan, president of the Pennsylvania Society of Sons of the Revolution.
Okay. And Rob?
Good morning, everybody. Rob Williams. I am the chair of the Tredyffrin Township Historical Commission, and I also serve on the Chester County America 250 Commission.
Okay. How about you, Leslie?
I am Leslie Burnick. I'm president of the Chester County Concert Band, and just hoping to get some, get some ways to help celebrate in Tredyffrin Easttown and other areas all around Chester County for next year and now moving on into the future as well.
Okay. Maurice?
Hello, I'm part of the Easttown Historic Commission, and I'm just kind of following a lot of this stuff. I'm an architect in Wayne.
Okay. And Donna?
Yeah, hi. Oops, sorry. I'm here representing the Friends of Easttown Library.
Oh, great.
Oh, great. And Tracy? Tracy? Okay, well, when Tracy,
I'm sorry, Tracy King,
okay,
Berwyn Devon Business Association President.
okay,
Hey, Tracy.
Hi, guys.
great. You know what? I'm going to start with a suggestion that we had. Oh, there's Anna. Anna, did you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Chair of the Easttown Township Historic Commission.
Okay, great. I'm going to start with something that Heather and I were talking about before we came online, because as you know, we're doing all of these different hyper-local events. We have this one here in Tredyffrin Easttown, then we have Paoli Malvern, and I don't know what your reaction would be as if we combined Paoli Malvern with Tredyffrin Easttown. Because I think that there's more, there's such a transition and movement between the areas. So Heather, did you want to explain a little better than I just blurted it out?
To offer some greater context, there are also Zooms for Westchester, and there's one for the Kennett Square region. And now those two different Zooms are now being broadened. And now Westchester's also including Downingtown and Exton. And Kennett Square is including the greater Kennett area and points south. So part of that is so we can maximize our resources for all of you, but it also not every organization's fitting into one spot. So I guess the way to look at this is what do you think would work best for you? Planning as Tredyffrin Easttown or planning with a larger geographical area and extend to Malvern and Paoli?
So let me comment on two sides of this. So one, there's a natural affinity with Tredyffrin Easttown. We share a school district. There's a lot of things where people don't even know the difference between the two townships. They just literally say TE. and
Right.
they're thinking about their towns. So there's a lot of affinity. There's a lot of, there's a lot of things we do together. So the TE part makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
I'll share one thing from the America 250 Commission viewpoint, and it's the idea that there's a interpretive network that actually spans from Tredyffrin into Malvern. And the reason for that is the Battle of Paoli, the encampment from which the British launched their raid on Malvern at the time. It was the British were camped in Tredyffrin. They marched through East Whiteland. They marched up the hill through West Willistown, and then they finally stood at the border of Malvern and said, "Gee, we must be here." Of course, there was no Malvern then, so there is a notion that for the next coming 2+ years, we're going to be at least focused on that together. And I know Jim Christ, who works in the Malvern, battlefield, Bart Van Valkenburg, he's been helping us. He's a member of the TE Historical Society board. So there's a lot of folks who understand that commonality. So I think for the purposes of America 250 and the fact that we're focused on Philadelphia campaign, at least from a county's viewpoint, there's probably an argument to be made to bring us together.
I think it's also infrastructure viewpoint, Rob, with
Say
the
more.
kiosks and the historic sites and that
Ah.
sort of thing. Okay. Stacy, how about you?
I feel like more the merrier. I'm totally fine with that. And I agree with Rob, so.
Yeah, I feel like when we met with the Malvern Paoli group, it was very heavily Malvern, but
It was 100% Malvern.
yeah, I think we had one
Well,
person
yeah.
that kind of, so it was, and then I was thinking, where is the center of Paoli? Where is the, so we just very fluid along the main line here, part of Chester County.
I mean, Paoli is mostly Tredyffrin Township.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point. There you go.
And, but then there's also the Willistown question. Because where are they in all of this?
Well, that's what I wonder. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself to the group. My name is Heather Reifer. I've been working on 250 the last couple of years in various capacities. And I used to be director at historic Sugartown in Malvern.
Oh,
So yeah, so I know exactly what you're saying, Anna. It's like, where does Willistown fit in? Because a lot of times it's kind of on the outskirts, but it needs a place, and it's always on the outskirts with Malvern. It's always on the outskirts with Westchester. So we always were playing both, trying to figure out connections to both regions.
So Anna, if I were to reach out to someone in Willistown, who would you suggest?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I would guess I would.
Yeah, I would say the Willistown township manager, she just
she's great.
spoke. Yeah,
Yeah.
she just spoke at the Devon Berwyn Business Association. She's top notch, and she would be interesed, I think.
Do you know
I can't
her name?
remember
Remember her name?
It's
I
on
can
the
look it up.
I'm sure
She
it's
was
on their
at the
website.
secretary's meeting, the township secretary's meeting, I think, maybe. If not,
Mhm.
she could connect us.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll reach out to them.
I think the Willistown connection is good. The other one I would say, which we've had a lot of struggles with, is trying to reach East Whiteland.
Oh, he was the head of Public Works, was on the call.
Yeah, no, not Public Works, Parks and Rec. And they're pretty
Okay.
active, Rob. We can definitely, I think this is sounding like this needs to happen because
Yeah.
he's been on those Zooms for Malvern.
Well, that's
So-
good. Well, that's good for East Whiteland because we've poked at their historic commission without reaction, and we've poked at their planner without reaction, their, staff planner. So yeah, any inroad into East Whiteland would be a good one.
And I'm going to go with Stacy's the more the merrier. I think that gives energy
Yeah.
to this idea of celebration and of 250 and events, because I'm in Wayne. Chester County. But I could go to Paoli, Malvern, I go all over for different celebrations, events, that sort of thing.
If I,
And so,
if I could just make the point, which I guess I've made a couple times, I'm worried about there's so many events that you get poor show in some. So I think a coordination across the
Yeah.
board is going to be so significant
Yeah.
to
Yes.
make sure everybody has their input.
Mhm.
But there's just not competition. One of these things I find today through social media is there are so many events going on any one weekend that you want to go to, and you just feel like, oh boy, I can't. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It
well, we
just
are
seems like
keeping
this would help that whole effort of not stepping on other people's toes and coordinating events.
Coordinating.
Maurice, I think that's a
calendar.
really good
I-
point, and one of the reasons we are coordinating, we have a central calendar, a whiteboard with different ideas of things so that people know what the other person's doing, another group is doing and on a given day. Yes,
Go ahead, Leslie.
Leslie.
I was just going to mention that, for instance, the band is already booked for a West Goshen, East Goshen big celebration the end of May next year. So, I mean, I do agree that having, combining some communities is going to help financially, help get the word out. Because again, just for one smaller community to try to put all this together, I think is going to be harder than if different communities do combine. So I'm thinking that this should be a good thing for the Goshens, to be putting them together for this.
Yeah.
The Goshens are together again.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Tracy, what about from the business community?
Well, I guess I agree with everyone else. We should get as many communities involved as possible, because it does seem like every weekend there's something going on and different, and you're trying to get to there. So I think just combining the communities together, it would be a great idea. So that's what I'm going to do from the Borough and Devon Business Association side.
So can we then, when we send the link to you, could you push it out?
Sure. And I'm actually
Be
going
great.
to Philadelphia's 250 meeting tomorrow. I'm on theirs as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm going to see what they're like, because they're doing the whole Philadelphia. So maybe we can kind of piggyback on some of the things they're doing, because it's like North Philly, like all the towns together.
All the towns.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to hear, because what we've heard so far has been a lot of focus on the sporting events next summer.
Yes,
So to
yes,
hear
it
what
is.
the other communities are doing,
doing.
that
Including wrestling.
hyper local
Yes.
stuff.
So
Trying to stay away from the sporting events.
Exactly. So hopefully I'll find some things out tomorrow, and I'll be able to bring it back to us for our next Zoom meeting.
Great.
Another natural is Newtown Square, which, I don't know anything about it, but it's adjacent to us, and there's a lot of back and forth. Like
And
people-
Delco, we're working with Delaware County and Montgomery County on events. They're also doing a Dare to Declare, with the reading of the Declaration of Independence. So we are in contact with them on a very regular basis. And
Okay.
and I do think this whole thing is a lever to collaborate. It's a lever for civic engagement, and we need to try to make the most of it.
Right.
I feel like people are starting to think, I'm the chair of the Arts Commission in Tredyffrin, and I feel like people are starting to focus in on where they live, because they realize that's where they can have impact in this crazy world that we're now living in. That it's the local that is, well, I find it comforting, but I also think that people feel like they can have an impact there and are more focused on it. You're saying yes, Stacy? Yeah. So the more we do to re-engage and engage people, I live in a place where so many people are new to the area. They came for college and stayed like that. And so they don't really know what's around them. so not just for history, but, you know,
Yeah.
parks and so, and all that kind of resource.
I was just gonna mention something. Um, some there was quite a number of people who wrote on the band's Facebook page when they saw that we weren't at the 4th of July celebration, because we were playing every year, and then last year and this year they just got a DJ instead. And you know, that's fine. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Which town you're talking about, Leslie?
TE. We used to
That's-
play every year at Wilson Farm Park
Right.
for the 4th of
Oh,
July.
great.
For the
So
fireworks.
we had a lot of people who have been saying, "Why aren't you there?" Thinking that, you know, we chose not to.
Right.
It's not true. We desperately want to be
Well-
there. So, you know, so here we've got this 100-piece band, and we have nowhere to play on the 4th of July, you know, which was just heartbreaking because,
Oh,
you know,
my.
even though it's nice to be with your family, you know, this is kind of what we're all about, is
But,
doing these big
and
celebrations.
music, I think live music has a special place in celebration.
Right.
So let me comment, because I wanted to mention this directly to you, Leslie. So I've talked with Colleen in the Tredyffrin Parks. I've mentioned your group twice, and what happens is she says that she doesn't really start working on 2026 until the 2025 season is over. You know, she clears her mind, and I was trying to make the point that, you know, big bands like yours are not easy to contract's the wrong word maybe, but you know, at least reserve.
Right.
So my belief is, I think what I need to do is go back to Colleen. She's the head of parks in Tredyffrin Township, and make the point. They love the idea of the what Heather and Angela know, the Dare to Declare. They're ready to do that, which is to read the declaration in Wilson Farm Park, and then, you know, maybe intersperse it with music, or music follows. So anyway, so I've been pushing that. It's just their process is, you know, not been one that, you know, books a gig yet. So.
Right, right. Yeah, because I
So-
mean, you know, usually I know Colleen has only been on this for maybe 2 years or something.
Correct, right.
Yeah. Let's see. I forget now who we worked with before.
You worked with Hillary.
Hillary, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so and now I guess she has a different role in the
Yeah.
town.
Exactly.
But you know, it would just be, I mean, we're certainly all up for doing the Dare to Declare. Now, whether that would actually be on the 4th of July
Right.
or a different event, because I think the 4th of July, you know, you're going to have uh just, I don't know, there may just be so much focus on, you know, preparing for the fireworks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if that would add too much downtime of, you know, people
Understood.
if they're reading. So I mean, but certainly the band is welcome to, is willing to do whatever.
Okay.
That's
Well,
it.
they also have their, I think it's Thursday night concert series, so we
Right.
can
And I had
we can
talked to them
figure it out.
about that too, you know,
Right,
and they just
right.
said, "Oh, we're all full." I'm like, okay.
Okay. All right. Well,
Let's be the squeaky wheel.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll work on that, and I think I'll just alert Colleen as the end of this month arises that to start thinking about the band. So.
Right. Thank you.
Is anyone else
Welcome.
planning a Dare to Declare event?
So I know Dupertai House is talking about it. They're very excited to do it.
We've
Yeah,
talked about it at the farmer's market too.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Mhm.
Yeah, the one in
In
Berwyn.
Berwyn.
oh yeah.
Oh,
That's a
very
good
cool.
setting for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
good-
so we should get that on the calendar for them, and then if so they can, and also we can engage them in the educational part of it. How to read it, who the best
Yeah.
reader would be, little history behind it. That would be great. And the Dupertai house, again, you've got that big shady porch and lawn. I can really see that.
There's so just so everybody has an update on the resources, we're working. I have a meeting with Dr. Emily Sneff tomorrow afternoon to kind of refine the toolkits that we've been working on, and we're hoping they'll start getting released at the beginning of August. I think that's the goal. I wanted to also mention, just so you're aware of another initiative that's happening, New York Historical, which used to be referred to as the New York Historical Society. They've dropped the society now. They are working with another group called Made by Us, to create, to basically have a youth 250. They're working, they have a bunch of different resources for Gen Z. I'm trying to find the best link to send you on this. But one of the things they're working on is encouraging folks to have wish walls, and putting in the Made by Us a website for now. I'll keep adding them as I'm talking. So they have a wish wall online that people can go on and submit their birthday wish to America. It's very simple. You just say, what you as an American wish for the country. It could be anything. And that's their digital platform. I think I just found it, so I'll copy that into the chat as well. So they have that version, and then they're also encouraging folks to do pop-up wish walls. And this seems like a very easy lift for places to do, and even pair up with a reading of the Declaration. It could be as elaborate as having an exhibit that's curated by whoever you want it to be, make it a little more formal. Or it could be as simple as having Post-it notes on a wall, literally, like hand people, hey, write down your wish for America and put it up. And it's just a way to engage people when they're at your event, to think about what, they're excited for America. Let me see if I can find that one. So the Made by Us crew, they actually, I'm trying to find the right link here, sorry. They had a pop-up wish wall right at the Smithsonian, and it was done by a select group, I believe. And it was a little bit more formal, but and so there's resources for that as well. So yeah, it could be an exhibit at a hall or a library, or it could be, paired with Dare to Declare. So yeah, so that's another resource. They also have a content creators or content group. They're trying to encourage young people to engage with 250. So there's a number of different resources that they have. So there's
So-
Youth 250, there's content creators that people can volunteer their time, that sort of thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Could this be something that, say, at the chamber meeting, they could put up a wall and people at the meeting could do it? Or at the
Yeah.
library, in the lobby, and have people put things up? Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, I think absolutely. They're having, there's a Zoom call today. They're debriefing on this year's wish walls and 250, their 4th of July celebrations. They have a program called Civic Season that they also do. And apparently this year it was a very quick hit. It started with Juneteenth and ended with the 4th of July. So they're having a debrief meeting today, and anybody can go to that. Let me see if I can find that link. I can just keep throwing links at you. So I just learned about this last week and I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this information out to people. Let's see, I just lost my document here.
But again, this is something that anybody can do at
Yeah.
a low cost.
Exactly. That's what I mean by an easy lift. It could come down to Post-it notes. Yeah, it could be something that it could be a contest or a writing thing. You can make it as big or as little as you want. Okay, here's the other one. This is the other project that they have is called the Civic Season, and they are trying to they have a number. This particular website, they have a lot of interconnections, so that's why there's so many different websites for this. They also have a Gen Z scorecard for like, are you engaging with Gen Z well? You can score yourself, and there's resources about that. And I was thinking about you, Stacy, because Angela had been telling me about the Gen Z declaration and things like that. So yeah, so there's oodles of resources there that I think communities could take advantage of. And I'm going to go to the Zoom this afternoon to find out more information about how it went this year and see what kind of takeaways they all had that we could possibly learn from. Because I
Okay.
think you can also if you do this wish wall thing, I think you can register with them and they'll push it out with, so they can show, this is happening nationally. So, but
That's
I'll
cool.
get more details and we'll share as they come up.
I think that it's cool. Yeah. Anybody else with some offerings?
Yeah, I had two to bring up. First off, along with Stacy, I think we ought to make sure we get if they aren't already, the Paoli Business and Professional Association engaged. I've gone to both the Berwyn Devon and the Paoli meetings in the past 4 months just to get to know the room and a few of the people. I met Stacy. So I think Paoli's would be good to get on board too.
Do you know who
Yeah.
the chair of that is now?
I was just looking for the card. I have their card and I can't find it, but I can send you the note.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
please do, Rob, because that's the one that we can't crack that egg.
Okay, yeah, I specifically went to their meeting for that reason.
Great.
The other is I put in comes from my bigger hat, two links to a national organization, which is the American Association of State and Local History.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They've been 3 to 4 years into this. The reason I put the link in is they just published what they call their final report, which in their case means final report to their members, which are typically historical societies and kind of small museums. And the final report, I wanted to show the page of their last page of their report, if I could, whoever owns sharing.
I did give you
One that
sharing.
says year ahead.
The year ahead, yeah, if you want to pull that up.
See if I can pull that up.
So that's an interesting page because it has basically 4 findings from their 4 years of work of what we should do. And I think it goes back to what Angela said. The top one is don't see the narrative. It's very much, I have a true belief that, we should have our own local and regional narratives, but I also suspect there'll be one kind of national level narrative. And if you want an alternative narrative, own it locally. Embrace the grassroots. That's exactly what we're doing. That's what the foundation and all of us are doing now, going hyper local. This was mentioned a long time ago. No need to reinvent the wheel. A lot of this is just rebranding activities that we do normally.
That's the overlay we always talk about.
Yeah, which I think is, this is well said, and they link back into their and then staying connected with your peers. So all of and thinking of peers in a broader sense of not just our historic peers, but our local peers from business, our local peers, other nonprofits, our local peers, school district, all of those. So I think this was their big 4 takeaways working nationally, and some of this we've already been doing locally. So that's it.
Okay. Now I'm trying to get back to my non-share.
Stacy, what troop are you working on with the Boy Scout troop with the or the Scout troop with the signs that planned for 2x4s with the QR code on them? You had mentioned.
So we did have a meeting about that this morning, actually, and so we are working on that. And I actually met with the student on Friday, and I believe it's Troop 180. I know there's a Devon 50 as well that does Eagle Scout projects and things. This is 180.
Right, that's what I was after is the other troop.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is going to work with Rowan, who's also a student intern this year, that Rob and I have been working with, along with others, in creating this driving and walking tour that are in Tredyffrin and in Easttown Township. And I believe that they have kind of put together a plan, and there's multiple tours. So, you can walk through Berwyn, or you can take a drive and see the different generals' homes. Is that right, Rob?
Yes,
Yeah,
the quarters, yeah.
quarters. And so it should be pretty cool. So now that we really we know where everything's going to be. The plan is to get our Eagle Scout to reach out to property owners, tell them what we're doing, start creating and painting these posts, and get it together. So,
And let people know that that's what they are.
and then it's going to be marketing it out to the community to let them know that it's available. And it's one of these things where there is a platform. We talked about this the last time, called Izzy Travel. And so when somebody comes up to it, they can click it with their phone, and they can get the app on their phone, and then they can see what's happening there.
Okay, so right into your wheelhouse there, Stacy, is one of the conversations we had about Malvern is that they have a multitude of murals.
Yes.
And so they're going to have we talked about starting a walking tour for the murals in Malvern. So
Yeah.
now we're going to have more murals in other areas, and to base a walking tour or driving tour around them.
So we have 2 murals already, and by the end of this year, we will have another 6,
Wow.
9, 10 murals in
Okay.
Berwyn and Devon. So what's nice is that it'll be a continuum that will go through just along Lancaster Avenue, and then, as we've talked to Angela about, expanding that into broader areas, and
Right, the
finding,
Tredyffrin Arts Commission is talking about
yeah,
murals as well.
yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And murals, music can have the whole thing. So the historic sites, what are we planning, and are you working together or planning things on your own?
So you mean as far as the walking tour?
No, yeah, I was thinking about Anna and Michael, and the historic sites, because I know that Berwyn did a great walking tour.
Yeah. I mean, the one that we're working on right now, it's really collaborative between Tredyffrin's Historic Commission, Easttown's Historic Commission, and the Easttown Tredyffrin Historic Society are all
Mhm.
working together on this. So,
Good,
and we did
great.
apply for a grant, and we didn't get it. So maybe next time. It's okay.
Yeah. Michael,
Rob.
anything that you'd like to offer?
Well, one of the things that we wrestled with, what do we do differently for the 250th? And we realized that we don't just celebrate this once every 50 years. We do this every year. We have a number of events that we hold on an annual basis.
Mhm.
For example, we have an annual church service that we hold at various churches around the area. It's on a rotating basis. And for next year, we've already planned to have our church service at St. David's Church
Nice.
because Anthony Wayne is buried there.
Absolutely, right.
As part of the church service afterwards, we lay wreaths at the graves or the monument that happens to be in the graveyard of the particular church. So we'll obviously do that at Anthony Wayne's gravesite. And there are a number of other Revolutionary War soldiers buried in that graveyard as well. We have new citizens ceremonies that we sponsor, and we will continue with those. We just had our July 4th Let Freedom Ring celebration which we typically hold in Philadelphia at Washington Square Park. And then the conclusion of that is we work with the young members of the descendants of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And there's a bell tapping of the Liberty Bell at exactly 2 p.m. And they tap the Liberty Bell 13 times as part of a nationwide celebration, because that was a presidential decree in, I believe, 1970. And we support that, but we are wrestling with how we're going to do that next year, because it's going to be very difficult moving people in and out of Philadelphia next year.
Philadelphia, yeah, sure.
Now, granted, the bell tapping can only take place at the bell pit.
Right.
That's the sticking point. But we'll look at possibly doing something else outside, maybe in Valley Forge Park. We just had an event at the Knox House, which is part of Valley Forge Park, and that might be a very good location for us to conduct our annual ceremony. We could have it at the Memorial Arch in Valley Forge Park, which would be an appropriate site.
That would be
And,
awesome.
And actually,
then-
this December, we are actually kicking off. We're positioning a monument that was one of the first ones the Society erected in 1892. That was moved during the PennDOT widening of 320, which was right by Savona, and it's going to be moved to the site that's owned by the Sunoco station. And we're going to do a big event in mid-December, which is about the time that the Continental Army made camp there before moving on to Valley Forge. So we've got a full complement of activities that some are specific to this year, and others are every year.
If you
So
have
make sure
any-
you send
Yeah.
send that list of activities
Yeah,
to,
send
to
whatever
us so
date
that
you have.
Okay.
And if you're looking for places, are you working with Founding Forward already, or?
In fact, just had lunch with John Miko 2 days ago from Founding Forward, and trying to determine how we can work with them, because one of our initiatives coming up is going to be an education program where we're providing books to elementary school teachers along with a curriculum they can
fantastic.
teach
that is a great
Revolutionary
thing.
War history.
Yeah. And I know St. David's is having a Dare to Declare because they have Emily Sneff coming to speak there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Wreaths Across America. We support 2 different Wreaths Across America ceremonies, one at Paoli Battlefield Park and the other at the Old Eagle School Cemetery.
That's practically can see it from my window.
It's these annual events that are already happening that can be amplified. And then
Yes.
I think the sooner we get all these on a calendar that we push out to everybody, you can everyone can kind of rally around them and plan around them and dovetail where we can.
And that goes to my comment earlier about, like, people don't know this is happening around them on an annual basis.
Right.
Right.
So this is a good opportunity to make it plain.
Yep. And that's why I support that idea of combining Paoli Malvern and Tredyffrin Easttown.
Okay.
Removing the silos. I think that can only benefit everyone.
Well said. Well said. How about you,
Michael,
Anna?
I want to mention one other thing, just so you're aware of it. I believe Chester County Bar Association has been talking to Founding Forward about having one of its naturalization ceremonies up there next year. I'm not entirely sure about like where that is at this point, but they're planning to have one, and they want to pair it up with a declaration reading. So I just put that in the back of your head. I don't know if there's a possibility for collaboration there, but if you're interested, I can forward you that info as well. So how to connect with them.
Yes, all information is good information.
Great.
Anna, anything to add?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I
Good.
don't.
How about you, Tracy? I felt like you had your hand up.
No.
Okay.
I'll wait.
There is a
Tanya.
hand up.
Rob,
Yeah, one thing I forgot. From my corporate background, I know summer is the time to ask for money for the following year. And so we just had our historic commission meeting this past week, asked specifically about projects that we would need real money for in Tredyffrin. And we're going to go forward with 2 proposals. One is actually one that came from a supervisor, which is new banners to hang from the light posts
Nice.
that are 250 oriented. Turns out Tredyffrin Township owns the light posts throughout Chesterbrook, so that's going to be like an easy one. And then we talked about other light posts in other parts of the township. So many of our banners are from 2007 and tired, worn, ripped, etc. So so that's one idea. And then the new idea at the table is getting interpretive signs in our parks. So we have 12 parks in Tredyffrin, and shockingly, very few of them have interpretive signs of any kind. If they are there, they're mostly about ecological things, not historical. To include Wilson Farm Park, which there's no place in Wilson Farm Park that talks about Wilson Farm. So
Fascinating.
we're going to make a proposal to put some interpretive signage at this. We may do something like what Easttown does and do a series, 2 or 3 per year kind of thing. I think that would be a great movement forward. So those are our 2 advisory committee requests that are going to go into the township staff and then onto the supervisors.
sounds like a plan.
We're doing that as well. I mean, we're not doing it. I mean, we're working on that as well. Getting money together
Yep.
or ideas to get money. It's budget time.
It is budget time.
So, just in terms of next steps, I'll reach out to the Willistown Township manager and see what we can do about engaging Willistown. The Paoli Business and Professional Group, I will also look at that and find a contact there and see if we can amplify or unite, bring them into the fold, because that is the missing piece, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll work on connecting the Paoli Malvern group with this group, but continue just in terms of this date and time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that was going to be my next question. The Paoli Malvern group has been meeting at noon on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. And
we're the second. Wait.
you're
I thought
The
what are
second
we?
Monday.
we're
Monday.
the second Monday.
We are the second Monday because Easttown and Tredyffrin have historic meetings later in this week. So it was kind of to
Right.
give everybody
Makes
an
more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll poll them and see.
We'll
Okay.
figure out a reconciliation on that, but
Okay.
we have
And
Yeah.
are you going to do this Zoom call in August?
I was planning on it. Are you saying no? We were planning on
No,
having it.
I think you should do it. It's
I
just
think
so
it's-
many
Yeah.
so many organizations don't have an August event. So
Well,
and
yeah, and this time of year, with vacations, it doesn't seem to matter if we have the meetings or not, because it just, if you're in town, you come, if you're.
And
at
if
the
we miss a
shore,
month,
you're-
then we seem to lose traction.
I agree.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely have it. We'll have to reconcile. So are you all saying that the Monday date's better for you than the Wednesday date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it works for me.
How about you, Tracy?
Yes, Mondays are
Okay.
better for me as well.
Okay. And then also I'm gonna find the scout troop. Look out for them, Stacy, the Devon group. Okay, anything else? Okay, we'll keep you posted on what we find out with the other group convening and with Willistown. Otherwise, we'll see you next month.
Great.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Good to see
Bye,
you all.
guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.